Hey, this is Ben Tate for CG Tuts, and in this tutorial we're going to be going through the entire process of modeling this mini semi-truck here, or rig. And as you can see, it kind of has a cartoon appearance. I really shouldn't say cartoon because it's not really toonish. Everything's still realistic, but you can see the proportions are way out. Everything's either really small or way too big here. Right, and this is actually just based on my own design, and it was inspired by the PS3 game Mod Nation Racers. Okay, so this is going to be a pretty long tutorial series, and we have a lot to cover here. I'm going to be doing the whole thing in real time, as always, and I only have the modeling portion done right now, but I think afterwards I'll probably put together a second part on rendering this out and doing some materials on it. Okay, and it's also a pretty high poly model here. I think this one is roughly 1.5 million polys, and we'll see if we can chop that down a bit for the actual tutorial. Okay, so let's just maybe jump into Max here and get started on this. Okay, so here we are in Max, and before we get started here, make sure you download the files for this tutorial. Okay, I'll include some blueprints here that I rendered out of my original model. Okay, we're going to use these to model against in Max. Alright, so we have the back of the truck here, the front, the left, and the top. Okay, and these are decent size. Right, and I just rendered these out as a wireframe over top of the model here, using a script to do this, so we can kind of generate our blueprints. Alright, so we'll use these. Okay, and let's go back into Max here, and to save time, I've already set up a scene with the blueprints in the proper position, and the reason I did that is just because it can take a lot of time to kind of get those set up properly, and it's always a pain in the ass to do, so I did it ahead of time just to save everybody the hassle. Okay, so I saved the scene out as an OBJ, so we'll just import that in. Alright, so we'll go up to File, Import, okay, and navigate to the folder that you download it. Okay, and there'll be an OBJ in there called Rig Starter Scene. Okay, so we'll select that, and if you can't see it, just pull this down to Wavefront OBJ. Okay, so hit Open, and we want to do multiple, and let's do rotate model, texture coordinates, and pretty much we can leave everything else at the defaults here. Okay, so we'll hit OK to that. That'll import our planes in. Right. And you can see they're just black right now, so we're going to need to assign the blueprints to them. Let me get rid of those selection brackets. Alright, so let's open up the material editor by hitting M. Alright, and I also saved out a material library for this. Okay, so we'll go over here to Get Material, go up to Material Library, down to Open, navigate to the same folder, and there'll be a material library file in there called Prints. Okay, so we'll open that up. Okay, and down here we have our materials. Alright, so what we're going to do here is just grab a slot in the material editor, and we'll just double click this back here. Alright, that'll load it into the slot there. Alright, so we'll go over and grab a different slot, double click the front one, the left one, and the top. Alright, so we have our 4 blueprints there in the material editor, and now we can just assign these to the planes here. Okay, so let's zoom back a bit. I'm just going to click in the viewport to deselect those planes. And the first blueprint here we have is the back one. Okay, so we're going to select the left plane here. Right, and we'll assign that material to it. Okay, and that'll be the back blueprint. Let's do the same thing with the next one, which is our front. So we'll go over here, grab this one, and assign the front blueprint to that one. And we'll do the left and the top. Okay. Okay, so now that we have these in, there's a few more things we want to do. We want to turn on the backface call so that we don't see both sides of the plane here with the image on it, because that's not really going to help us out. We want to be able to see through it from the back. Alright, so to do that, let's go over here, we'll grab this one here, which is the back blueprint. Alright, just going to right click on that, go down to Object Properties, and we'll take off backface call here and hit OK. Alright, and now if we spin around, you can see we can see through that plane. Alright, so it won't be blocking our view. Alright, let's do that for each one. Alright, so we'll grab the left one here, Object Properties, Backface Call, and OK. And the same for the other 2. Okay, so now we can see through those properly. Alright, and once you have that done, make sure you save your scene. You're not going to see me save in the tutorial here, but I'm saving all the time. And just to be on the safe side here, let's maybe freeze these as well so we don't accidentally move them out of position. Alright, so I'm going to grab the same backplane there, go back to Object Properties, and we'll go down here to Show Frozen in Gray, and we'll uncheck that box. Okay, and then we'll go up and tick Freeze and OK. And that'll freeze the plane there so we can't move it. Alright, let's do that for all three of these other ones. Okay, so uncheck Show Frozen in Gray and freeze it. And same thing with the other ones. Whoops. Okay, so now those are frozen. Alright, so we can start modeling here. And there is a lot of detail on this truck. I think we'll start pretty much with the cab section here and get that in first, and then we'll start adding the smaller details afterwards. Okay, so let's maybe go out to our 4 views here. And I'm just going to get rid of the grids in each view by hitting G. Okay, and I'm going to turn on my shading with F3 in each view. And we should be good to start here. Alright, so we'll go into our left view, zoom in a bit. And another thing I should mention here before we get going on this is the navigation controls for the viewports. Alright, so I'm just going to jump into perspective here. And if you want to zoom in and out, it's the middle mouse button or wheel. Okay. To pan around, just hold down the middle mouse button and drag. And to rotate the camera, hold down Alt and your middle mouse button and just drag around. And that'll make things a lot easier if you don't have to go down and use the buttons over here. Okay, so recommend getting used to using those if you're not already. And let's go into the left view again, and we'll start blocking this out. So we'll start right here on the cab section, and we'll do this out of a plane. Okay, so I'm going to go over into the crate panel here, and we'll just start with the plane. Alright, let's drag that out right here from top to bottom. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect, we can adjust it in a second. Let's turn off our selection bracket with J, and our edges, let's turn them on with F4. Okay, we don't really want to have these segments in here, so we'll just right click the spinners over here to get rid of those. Alright, let's also convert this to editable poly. And we'll go into vertex here. I'm just going to hit Alt X to go into X-ray mode, and we'll just make sure this is lined up. Okay, so let's grab the 2 top verts here. Okay, and we'll just make sure this is lined up with this top edge. Same with the bottom down here. Okay, and if you have any sub-objects selected, verts, edges, whatever, you can just hit Z and it'll zoom them to the viewport. Okay, and that works with any selected objects. Okay, and this edge looks like it's pretty much right on. And we'll just grab the 2 front verts there. And they look pretty good. Okay, so let's maybe put a material on this. And rather than doing the X-ray with Alt X, which you can see is a little bit hard to see where things are because the blueprint is so white, let's maybe make an animated material that we can use that'll work a little bit better for us. Right, so let's hit M. Right, let's grab another slot here somewhere. And let's maybe change the diffuse color to, say, blue, or whatever color you like. And let's also go down here at the bottom of the screen to the time configuration here. Okay, we'll open that up. And we'll just change our timeline here from 100 frames to 1. So just put 1 in there, hit enter, and OK. And you can see that'll give us 2 frames here at the bottom. Okay, so we'll drag it back to frame 0 here. And let's select our material, and let's turn on the auto key button here. I'm just going to click the keyframe button right now. Okay, and I'll add a keyframe at frame 0. Let's move the slider to the second frame here. Okay, and we'll change the opacity of the material here to, say, 40% and hit enter. Okay, and then we'll hit keyframe here as well. Alright, now we can turn off the auto key button, and let's just drag and drop our material onto our plane. Okay, close the material editor. And now we can use the period and comma buttons to switch back and forth between the first and second frame, which will change our material there so we can see through it. Okay, and you can set up the opacity any way you like. It doesn't have to be that dense or if you like a little more transparent, just take down the amount. Okay, so I'm going to be flipping between those quite often here as we go along. Alright, so let's go over to edge, and we'll select the left edge here. Okay, and let's actually move this into the position that we want first. So I'm going to go into top view. Let's go into vertex, and I'm just going to grab the 4 verts here on the plane so we can see where it's at. Okay, we'll move this out. Okay, and you can see that on the blueprint here, the pipe is actually blocking the edge that we need to line this up with. So I'm just going to move it out a bit here, line up with maybe the center of this pipe, and we'll just leave it there for now. Okay, so let's go back to edge, and with the left edge there, select it, go back into the top view, and we'll just shift drag this over. Okay, so I'm going to hold down shift to drag it over on the X. Okay, like that. And then let's go back to vertex, grab the 2 verts there, and just move them up and line them up with this edge. Okay, right here. Right, I know this is a little bit hard to see right now, but there's not much I can do about that. Okay, so we'll go back to edge here, and we'll just shift drag this edge up on the Y to extrude it out like that. And we'll just put this vert here, right at the end of this corner. Okay, just like that. Alright, so let's jump back to the left view, and we'll just go into edge, grab the vertical edges here, do a connect, 1 segment, no pinch, no slide. Okay, and we'll just move this down by hand on the Y until it lines up with this edge right here. Okay, so just line it up like that. Let's go to the vertex, we'll grab these 2 verts here. Okay, and we'll just pull those forward to line up this edge coming A-pillar here. Okay, so pretty much like that. The blueprints are a little bit off, but they're pretty close, so we'll just have to kind of work with the difference between each view. Okay, so I'm just going to line it up right there. So this is going right down like that. Right. Go back to edge, grab that 1 edge there, and we'll just shift drag that to the front. Okay, we'll just leave it a little bit overlapping this front grill piece. Okay, and then we'll grab that top vert and just pull it down. Okay, and we'll line that up with this edge right here. Okay, just like that. Alright, that'll give us pretty much the side of the truck. And let's maybe go back to edge. And let's grab maybe these front edges here as well as this one. I'm going to hold down shift and drag them back on the X. Okay, and we want to have this centered to the center of the truck, which is actually the 0 position on the X-axis here. Okay, so with those edges selected, we can go up to the move tool, right click it, and right click the spinner for X. Okay, and then I'll move those edges over to the center mark, which is where we need them. You can also do that by right clicking down on the X spinner at the bottom here, which is a little bit faster. Okay, so that's the basic blockout that we need for the cab. Alright, so the next thing we'll do here is jump into the top view, and we need to pull this side over. Okay, so we'll go into vertex, grab the 2 verts here, and just move them in. Okay, we'll just line this edge up right like that. Okay. And we also need to bring out the center here a little bit forward, so we have a bit of a slope on each side of the hood. Okay, so let's grab these 2 verts here, and in the left view we'll just move this forward a bit. Just going to line up the top one there, right here, and then we'll grab this one and just move it up to the corner. Okay, and let's also grab the one here at the end of the hood, and we'll move that straight up on the Y, and just line up with the edge there. Okay, you can see our edges are a little bit off here, so I'm just going to move these ones down. Let's grab those verts, and we'll just slightly move that down. Okay, everything's lined up pretty good there. Okay, and I'm just going to switch my front view here to the back view, and just check it out. Okay, and I think we could bring out this side here a little bit more. Let's grab these ones, and we'll just pull that out a little bit more. Okay, let's actually switch this to the front view here. And we can kind of see the edge on this one right here. Alright, so I'll leave that about there. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Let's switch this back to the front view, or the back view, sorry. Okay, you can see our edges are a little bit off right here, and that's just because the front and side blueprints don't match up exactly. I got them as close as I could, but unfortunately they don't match perfectly. Alright, so I think we'll just leave it like this for now. And the next thing we'll do is start blocking out the door shape as well as this window and the windshield. Okay, so in the side view here, let's add a couple of additional edges. So to go to edge, and we'll just grab these 3 edges right here. Okay, and you go in and out of wireframe with F3. Alright, so we'll do a connect on those with one segment. Slide this over, line it up right here at this edge, and we'll just move that top vert over a little bit so it lines up better. Okay, so just like that, just following this edge here. Okay, we'll add another one for the back of the door. So another connect there, and let's just go to scale. We'll just scale this on the X to straighten that edge out. Okay, and we'll slide it over a bit. Alright, it's a little hard to see where the actual back of the door is here. Let's just move it over a little bit more. And I think we'll line it up with this edge here on the bottom of the blueprint. Okay, so like that. And let's also add another one up the top here for the top of the door. So it's going to grab those edges, do another connect with one segment. Let's go down here and we'll put our edge constraint on. Okay, and we'll just scale this on the Y until it straightens out. And then we'll slide it down. Okay, and line it up at the top of the door. And we'll do the same thing down here at the bottom. So grab these edges, do another connect. Okay, and we'll just move this one up. Right about there should be good. And let's also scale that a bit to straighten it out. And we'll just grab the front vert and just match the angle of the edges on the blueprint. Okay, so pretty much like that. Now we'll go into polygon and grab the 2 polygons for the door, and we'll just detach these as a separate object. Okay, so just let's name it door, and make sure you have these unchecked. Okay, that'll break that off as a separate object for us. Okay, and let's just maybe grab that. Okay, so we grab the door there and just hide it for a second. We'll do the similar thing here for the back window. Okay, so we'll grab the side piece, go back to edge, grab those edges there, do another connect, and we'll just block out the shape here of the window. Okay, right like that. And because we broke off the door there, we can now move this edge around without affecting these ones over here. So I'm just going to use this one for the bottom of the window. Let's move that up a bit, right about there, and we need another one at the top. Alright, so let's move this up, right about there, and I think we could actually move these ones here a little bit higher. Alright, so I'm going to grab those verts there. Let's deselect these ones. Alright, so we just have the one edge. Going to put, make sure you have your edge constraint on, and we'll just slightly move this up, like that. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Grab the poly there for the window, and we can just delete this one. Okay. And let's go around the front here and we'll start working on the windshield. Alright, so we need a couple of edges through this section as well. So back to edge, grab these ones, do a connect, and make sure you have your edge constraint on still. We'll just scale this on the Y until it straightens out. And let's move it down a bit. Let's put it right here maybe. with this edge. Same thing down here. Connect those ones up, and we'll just slide that up. Okay. And let's maybe adjust this vert here a bit. Just gonna pull that down, and we'll kind of follow this edge here. Right. Let's go into the front view, and we also need to add an edge running down the front here for the right side of that windshield. Okay, so back to edge, grab one of these front edges, do a ring. Okay, like that. And we'll do another connect. Okay, we'll just slide this over to the inside. And we'll leave it maybe about there. Okay, and I'm just going to straighten some of these edges out here a little bit better. Alright, so we'll grab these verts here. Just going to move those over, kind of line them up with the blueprints. And we should also probably do this in the top view. Alright, so you can see it's a little bit off there. Let's maybe move this back a little bit. Okay, I think that's close enough. So just like that. And we can start working on the windshield hole here. Alright, let's maybe grab these verts here in the center. I'm going to turn off my edge constraint. And we might just move this up just a little bit, just to match this angle. Okay, I think these ones here could come up slightly as well. Okay, and these side ones, let's see where those are. Let's pull those up. Okay, and I might actually move these back down. Just these two here. So it better matches from the left view. Okay, so take off your edge constraint, and we'll just pull that back down. Okay, I think that's close enough. And it doesn't have to match up exactly, just try to get as close as you can. Okay, so let's go into polygon here. Grab that windshield piece. And I'm just going to go into the front view, or the back view, sorry. And I'm going to turn off my polygon chain with F2 so I can see through that polygon. Okay, and I'm still not liking the way this edge is lined up, so I'm actually going to take that out. Right, so let's grab that edge there, do a loop, hit Control Backspace, which will take out the edges as well as the verts, and then we'll just re-loop this edge here and reconnect it. Okay, I'm going to leave that a little bit farther over like we originally had it, just so it lines up from this view. Okay, so we'll leave like that. Okay, we can actually get rid of these front polygons as well, we don't need them. Okay, so just grab those front ones there and delete them out. And now we'll grab the windshield. And we'll do an inset on this. Okay, so let's take that up a bit. Let's do maybe about 9 or so. Okay, just like that. And we'll delete that polygon. We'll also delete this polygon in the middle here, which we don't need. Okay, and let's grab these two verts here, and we'll go down and right click the spinner for X, which will center them. Okay, we also have some trim that's going to go around the window afterwards, so I think that should be good for the shape for now. Okay, let's maybe close up the top here. Alright, so let's go to edge, and let's just grab maybe these edges here above the door. Shift drag this over. Let's just actually go all the way over. So I'm just going to right click the spinner again to center those. Okay, and let's go to vertex, go to target weld, weld this one to this one. Okay, and let's maybe grab these two here. I'll just shift drag those back, line them up on the top view. That. Back in vertex, grab the two verts there on that corner, and we'll just open up the weld box here, take this up a bit, and hit OK. Okay, we're going to need a few more loops here, so let's do a ring on these ones. And a connect. And that looks like it pretty much matches up right there, so hit OK. Grab those two, weld them. And let's do the same thing this way here. Okay, so a ring on that. Let's do a connect with two segments. I'll just pinch those out. Okay, and then we'll weld these two pairs up. So weld there, and a weld here. Okay, so that'll close on the top for us. Let's also maybe put a symmetry on this now. Alright, so you can find your symmetry modifier down here, do it on Z, and that should flip it the right way. Okay. So the next thing we need to do here is give the openings a little bit of thickness around the doors, as well as add some support edges so we can turbo smooth this. Alright, so let's maybe add some edges first. Okay, and on the blueprints, even though I had a turbo smooth, I have the turbo smooth off on pretty much all the pieces so we can see where the edges were positioned. Okay, so let's go to edge. Let's grab these edges at the bottom of the door opening, do a connect. Let's just do one segment. Let's move that over and line up with this edge here. Let's grab these again, do another connect, and we'll pull these back. Okay, I'm going to line it up right there. Okay, and let's do the same thing at the top. Grab these ones, connect them up, move this over. Okay, and we'll also need one over here. So we'll just scale this one straight and pull it back. And I can't really see where it was, so we'll just leave it about there for now. Okay, and you can see that this one here is a lot farther away from the corner compared to this one. And the reason for that is because the door has a bit of a curve on the front that rolls over, and the back of it here is a lot more sharp of a corner. Alright, so that's why I had the edges spaced out. The farther these get away from the corner, the more soft that'll roll over. Okay, so we'll adjust that a little bit later on if we need to, but we'll just get the rest of these in here for now. Okay, we also need to run one of these down the edge of the trunk here so that it's a little bit more sharp. Alright, so I'm going to do a ring on those edges and do a connect, and we'll slide this up pretty high, almost up to the top here. We'll match it right about here. Okay, and then we'll just pull the vert down on the front to kind of taper it out. Okay, like that. Okay, and over here for the window we're going to need to add quite a few. So let's go back to edge, grab these ones here, let's actually grab these ones as well, and do a connect. Let's do two segments, and we'll just pinch those out a bit. Okay, about 19 or 20 should be good. And the same thing here, we don't want them too close to the corners or else the window's going to be really squared off, and we want it to kind of roll over like it is here. Okay, so we'll put them about there. Same thing side to side. Grab these ones, another connect, and we'll just pinch that up a bit more, and just match them with those two edges. Okay, and we also need to have one underneath the bottom here to support it. So let's grab these ones, another connect, just do one segment, and we'll just pull that up. Okay, and we need one on each side of the opening as well. Alright, so grab these edges, another connect, and just pull that over. Line it up, same thing over here. Pull that in. Okay, so that should be enough support for the window. Okay. And another thing we gotta make sure is that we add some hardness to these edges as well around the cab body. Alright, so we'll add a few through here. Maybe let's grab this edge, do a ring and a connect, and let's do 2 segments, and we'll just pinch that out a bit. Okay, you can kind of see them probably in the top view. Let's take them back in a little bit. 15, 16 or something should be good. Okay, and then we need another one right down here as well as right down here. So let's go grab these edges here, do a ring, and another connect. Let's actually just undo that. Let's do it with 1 segment, and we'll smooth that over. Okay, I'm going to line it up right here with this edge. That'll help support that outside corner here. And then we'll do a similar thing right here with these edges. Okay, and we can't really see where it's going to be because that pipe is blocking it, so let's just slide it over. Let's actually maybe put it right there. Okay, I think that should probably be enough for now. Let's go back into the top view. Okay, let's add one on the hood. Okay, so I'm going to grab one of these edges here, do a ring, and we'll add another segment there. Let's slide that up to the top towards the window and line it up with this edge here. Okay, that'll harden this edge up running across the top of the hood. Okay, and let's also do another ring this way, another connect, and we'll just bring that one down so it lines up with that other edge right here. Okay, we also need one through this section. Whoops, let's cancel that. Redo that one, and then we'll do another one here. Set this one down, and just match it up the best you can with those edges there on the blueprints. Okay, we also want to add one here so that this corner is supported a little bit higher up. Okay, so another connect, and that one looks pretty good right there, so let's leave it. Okay, we're going to need some along the top and along the bottom here in a little bit. We'll also need to do one down this section here. But I think that might be good for now. So let's maybe turn off edge here. We'll put our symmetry back on. Now let's drop a turbo smooth right on top of it with 2 segments, and we'll take isoline display. We'll just see how this is looking so far. Okay, we got a missed weld here at the back. You can see that hard edge there. Let's turn that off, and we'll see what's going on. Okay, we still have 2 verts on that corner there, so let's weld those up. And it looks like we got an extra one here somewhere too. Alright, so just check to make sure these are only 1 vert rather than 2 on top of each other. Okay, we got another one here. Let's weld that corner up as well. Alright, we'll see if that smooths properly. Okay, that's pretty good for starters. We still need to sharpen it up a lot more. Okay, so we'll turn that turbo smooth off, and we'll just keep adding some support edges here.